Mr. Hunt is recognized.
I cannot thank you all enough for being here. Thank you for sharing your lives with us. Thank you for sharing your stories. I greatly appreciate it, and being from Texas, it's an honor to be in your presence. In the 90s, mid to late 90s, New York City was considered one of the safest cities in America. When I was at West Point from 2000 to 2004, I took that train down here many a day. Had a pretty good time in this city, and I felt relatively safe when I did just that. But while Alvin Bragg is a Manhattan district attorney, his policies are not isolated to this borough. His pro-criminal policies are just an example of what Soros-funded district attorneys are implementing across our great nation. Their ideology is responsible for the death, rape, and robbery of innocent people across America, and it is disproportionately impacting poor black and brown people. In Democrat-run cities across America, criminals are given deference and victims are left to fend for themselves, as you have articulated today. Why do these Soros-funded district attorneys put criminals first and victims last? It's what they believe. It's who they are. Our cities are crumbling around us. Criminals are running rampant, and that's because district attorneys in San Francisco, Los Angeles, Chicago, and even my home city of Houston are advocating for pro-criminal policies. And Alvin Bragg fits this profile, in my humble opinion. Let's talk about Alvin Bragg. He's a woke, progressive district attorney with no different than any other progressive DA in our country right now. He was elected as a Manhattan DA in 2021. His policies should not be surprising, given that he was heavily supported by Black Lives Matter PAC that was directly funded by George Soros. In fact, George Soros donated $1 million to that PAC less than a week after endorsing Bragg. Under the guise of helping people of color, he causes them more harm with his pro-criminal policies. Since Bragg has taken office, New York City residents are worried about increasing threats of violence. Do you know who doesn't have to worry about violence? Alvin Bragg. Bragg is surrounded by men with guns every single day. But if you're a regular New Yorker coming home late at night on the subway, you may be robbed, stabbed, raped, or even pushed in front of a train. Do you know what the fastest growing demographic of gun ownership is in America? Black women. Black women. Why? Because they know they have to protect themselves in Democrat-run cities where criminals are allowed to roam free. That is a fact. Now, many of my colleagues on the left like to say that our justice system is two-tiered, that it favors the powerful and connected at the expense of poor people of color. But in Bragg's office, there's a two-tier justice system. It's criminals first and victims second, especially victims of color. We have an opportunity to vote out DAs just like this, to make people that look like me and you, ma'am, safer. Let me take it one step further. Not just people that look like you and me. Every single American that lives in this country should feel safe to live in their own streets. End of discussion. I'm sitting here right now, and I'm hearing Trump, 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 Trump. And at the end of the day, the people that are sitting here right now, they don't want to hear that. The only thing you want is safety. We are not grandstanding. I am not grandstanding. I can assure you I would love to be holding my 4-month-old boy right now. But I am here to fight for you and to hear your stories and to allow you to tell your stories. And for that, I am forever grateful. And ma'am, you ain't the only one that's actually left the plantation. It's happening all over the country. And with that, I yield back. Thank you.
Gentleman yields back.